Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, The New Normal with Tina Salem Manzoor. On this show, every week we explore a different aspect of studying abroad in this post pandemic era that we live in. Our topic tonight, we'll be talking to college counselors. As you know, that every week on the show, we try to learn from one another. We are trying to create an online community where we can learn from one another and support each other. So I do welcome comments, questions, feedbacks. Please do send us your ideas for the new show as well. My guests tonight are college counselors from four of Bangladesh's top schools. Let's bring them onto the studio. I have with me Evana Laila Choudhury from Scholastica.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Evana.
Hi everyone.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Nusrat Sharmin from Aga Khan School.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. I'm from the Aga Khan School, Dhaka.
Abdur Raquib from Maple Leaf International School.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you are.
And Ruhbayna Mahmud Chowdhury from Chittagong Grammar School.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you all. We know that college counselors play a very important role for the students. I mean, you help them pick the right show, the right course, the right university, and also, most importantly, you write their recommendation letters. So those are very important for any college. I would like to begin with our discussion because this year, a lot of, I feel it's been unfortunate this year that the O-level students, A-level students did not get to sit their exams. For O-level students, it's their first important exam that they write essentially of their life, and this people get to sit there. And for A-level students, this is the stepping stone for their career. And their grades are one of the main important factors for them. And they didn't get to write their exams. And Ruhbayna, in addition to being a college counselor, you're also the A-level coordinator for your school. So you essentially had a part to play in calculating, in giving the predicted grades for your students. So please tell us how you did this very important task.
Yeah. So the way it worked out for CGS was, fortunately, unfortunately, we decided to go. We decided to do AS and A2 together for this year. We didn't have to sit for our AS. The students didn't have to sit for the AS exam, except for math. And we're just going to sit for AS A2 all together in 2021, and we had that going for us. And also, so next year they'd be sitting for AS and A2 together, and that worked out really well for us, alhamdulillah. Other thing is, before the government actually gave the lockdown or announced it, we had closed down school because we're part of this RS Round Square organization, and we're getting a lot of information from schools in Italy and UK, and they were telling us about how bad it had become. So we closed down shop really quickly, and we moved to an online platform almost by 18th of March or 19th, I can't remember exactly. And we went ahead and we kind of devised a plan that we would use we would keep giving them assessments and keep giving them work just to make sure that they were still on board with their study. And, this is something that we had discussed earlier as well, that students, like, January mocks for them is like, okay, they somehow get over it and they really crunch down in April, May, June. That's when they're just going at it, and that's when they're studying. So March mocks is really important, and April mocks are really important. So when CIE started giving us the updates that no more exams, the teachers and the heads have to give these predicted grades. And they said, oh, you can base it on previous work, you can base it on your intuition. We said, no, we need to assess our students, and we need to give them a chance to prove themselves, because we've seen time and again that they do really well at the very end. So we wanted to give students
Most of
that
us,
chance.
when we don't study that much, that seriously before the exams, anyways. But I feel that even
Exactly.
our times, like for প্রথম মকটা দেওয়ার পরে মকে একটা সবাই একটু শক হয় যে আচ্ছা কেন এরকম হলো, মানে তখন সবার টিচারদের থেকে একটু বকা খায়, নিজে একটু রিয়েলাইজ করে কেন এত খারাপ হলো, এন্ড তারপরে না পড়া শুরু করে। এইটা এবছর চান্সটাই তো পায়নি ওরা।
They didn't get that. Yeah.
And exactly, I just add just one point, like, the schools are quite strict. Like, I would say the Aga Khan School, they're quite strict with their marking and the script checking while it's like in the school.
কিন্তু schools, right?
So border, when they're actually they're quite confident, whatever my transcript looks like in the school transcript, but they're more confident, I'm going to get this mark, they announce it with a lot of confidence that I'm going to get this in my final AS or A2. So
if we work hard,
they feel like what will happen to us, because teachers are very strict, and this time it will be predictors only, but we actually have kept the option open. Even they would like to sit for the November exam, if they want to sit for again an AS exam, we have given the option to the parents and students. Not many of them, I would say like 5% of them have opted for it, who are really, really confident, but the others are very happy. They are happy with the predictors, and this time would be a lot more analysis, like their work ethic, their 10, 11, how they have performed, and all the small tests, and everything will be counted, and head of secondary, all the coordinators will all check. So we just don't want anybody to be penalized, and everybody get what they're supposed to get in their final board exam. So this type of I would say like mental kind of support is also important, that we are there, you are not going to be penalized, so don't worry. So we're trying to be as possible with the kids.
I think this year what happened was college counselors also became pastoral counselors. We were holding the students' hands and we were telling them, it'll be fine, come on, we can do this. We were doing, like, I was doing drawing room sessions where I had all my class 12 students come, and I would sit in the drawing room and I would tell them, explain to them, calm them down, calm their nerves, because it was such a stressful time for them.
They must have been really worried যে হয় না যে সব রকম ব্যাপার তো চলে আসে তখন, যে আমার গ্রেডটা কি ঠিকটা দিবে কিনা, if I had the chance I could have worked
exactly.
তখন চিন্তা করে আমি কি স্কুলে, মানে বাচ্চারা তো শুধু একাডেমিক্স না, they're thinking of their overall, right, how they behaved in class, কি ওইটার ইনফ্লুয়েন্স, so many factors come into play, because exam e to you're just giving the exam, but যখন when you're asking somebody else to give a predicted grade, they're basing it on everything else as well. So ওই concern গুলো the parents এর কাছে ছিল আসলে, বা আছে এখনো। The grades are still confidential, right? Nobody knows their grades yet.
No. It would be like the school would send the predictors to the British Council or whoever the registered companies. So, and then the board will even again reevaluate. They're not only taking the predicted, they're also taking their previous record. So everything will be analyzed. So it would be like a layers of, I would say, like checking. Though they're not checking the script this time, but they're going to see overall a portfolio of a student, how they have been doing.
Process the schools are sending the whole grading process, the whole
exactly
the thing to the board. Okay, so they also get to say in process এর মধ্যে এই জিনিসটা পড়ছে। Okay, so ঠিক আছে কিনা evaluation. Okay. অন্য কোন স্কুলে did you do anything else differently in your other school, Raquib bhai, by Ivana? Do you have anything to add in terms of that?
There was a lot of things. Yeah, now have faith in us. We want what's best for the kids, and whatever suits, whatever gives them the best result.
Actually, was for AS and A2, and then in some cases the previous for the O levels, as far as I heard, they also had their papers assignments evaluated. So it varied from subject to subject, and in different cases, it finally then what happens, as far as I could understand from the documentation, was that the grades will have to be were to be sent in as a normal distribution. That is, very few students would get A stars, very few students on this scale would get U's or A's, but then majority of the students would be getting a C. তো ওইভাবে জিনিসটাকে ডিস্ট্রিবিউট করে তারপর মানে there has to be a bell curve, and depending on the performance of previous students in that subject from that institution, ওইটা ওরা ডাটাটা অ্যানালাইজ করে তারপর they'll see যে এইবারের ডাটাটা যেটা পাঠানো হইতেছে it's actually if it fits into their previous record.
ইউনিভার্সিটিতে যেরকম করে গ্রেডিং করে যে একটা ক্লাসের 2% A star, 5% A ওরকম, so ওই কার্ভটা that also worked out into the system.
Edexcel Cambridge always does it, but this time they were asking institutions, I think, to send it beforehand, right?
Yeah, because the board doing it is something, but the schools doing that is that adds another challenge to the school.
Yeah,
I think
I actually did that. I actually made a bell curve in the
These
last
results,
and I
Yeah.
I had to do that.
And
That's
it's
what I
a lot
did.
of work for the coordinators this time.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Lot of, I would say,
yes.
lot of like email exchange, lot of sending grades, and lot of interaction. I could see like a big chunk of work, the teachers, the head of school, everybody is working together for the students.
So
You know the hero.
And but the
usually
the heroes in this whole thing were like they were so amazing. Alhamdulillah. The teachers were.
এটা কাউন্সিলরদের হয়তো বা অ্যাপ্লিকেশন সিজন ছাড়া ওরকম করে কাজ করতে হয় না, বাট আই থিঙ্ক এবার কাউন্সিলরসরা মানে ইভেন দো ইউ আর ওয়ার্কিং অল ইয়ার রাউন্ড, I think you have to work even harder. I mean, weekends somewhere never. Plus, you have that stress, that the tension you're doing right by the students.
I just would like, all the students go abroad or, they do something fruitful during this time. That's something, like that I am worrying about, and, I'm in touch. It's same like Ruhbayna before the school, like we get a kind of a wave that, we might get shut down. So, at the second week of March, we had these, internet training like for all the teachers and faculty, like an online training on Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So we went online as quick as possible when we had this shutdown. So in terms,
played a major role in that. I mean, the schools you're ready.
Our IT and the leadership did a very fantastic job in terms of providing, they have all got their, school laptop, take it back to, got an IT person was like 24/7 with us. So I would say like, the teachers and all the students got the code and everything, Google Class. So
definitely you follow.
Yeah, it went well.
Workers, yeah. I mean, because last year's application process was already done. I mean, the students who are going this year, their application process was already done last year. But for the next year, you're doing the process now, because it essentially starts in July. So how are you going to be doing it this year in Scholastica, like the whole process?
Right. So initially, we have to sort of tell the kids that you have to reach out. Usually we had the opportunity to see them. We don't have that opportunity. Let's accept that and let's make plans. It's very important that the kids reach out to us. Very important that kids understand যে অনেক transcripts থাকবে না, অনেকগুলো pillars of assessment থাকবে না, which makes নিজের proactiveness-টা, that you writing the essays, requesting teachers, telling them that this is the places where I struggled, এগুলো আমাকে help করতে, telling them to be proactive is very important, and that's why we're reaching out to them one-on-one, literally, that what, now is the time. There may not be school, but baki shop kichu ekhon it's going as per timeline.
I mean, recommendation letter, when you write it, I feel that for next year, jara ebar apply korche, emnitei to recommendation letter, essays, they're very important. But going forward, যেখানে ওদের যেমন একটা মেইন গ্রেড মিস হয়ে যাচ্ছে, এই গ্রেড এখনো দেয় নাই, এই ও লেভেল গ্রেড যারা হচ্ছে তারা প্রেডিক্টেড গ্রেড নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, তো তাদের জন্য কিন্তু এসেটা এবং রেকমেন্ডেশন আরো বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট হয়ে যাবে। recommendation, you're talking about that student's strengths and what you believe that they can do in the university setting. So in order for you to do that, usually you arrange meetings with them, you get to talk to their teachers. But this year, like you said, you will not get to do that. And then usually the এখন থেকে ডিসেম্বরের মধ্যে you'll be writing most of the recommendation letters, some even earlier than that, actually most of them earlier than that. So how will you base that on? I ask this to all of you. How will you base that on?
Like,
Should I start?
yeah, Nana, go ahead, please.
Okay. It's like we do have this Google Classroom, and I actually have a weekly session with the students, like 11 and 12. I started with the 11 and 12. So in each week, I
Okay, we have lost. Ivana, do you want to go ahead and continue? Maybe we can pull Nusrat in when she comes back.
Yes, I mean, we also are starting this Google Classroom thing where each student has been given in direct email addresses specific for school purposes, and they are encouraged to sort of be regular and connect to their counselors more and their teacher. আর তার থেকেও যেটা বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, আমাদের কিন্তু ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল কিছু স্ট্রাগলস থাকে। দেয়ার মে বি স্টুডেন্টস যাদের ফ্যামিলিতে দে মাইট হ্যাভ দিস কোভিড মাইট হ্যাভ ইম্প্যাক্টেড দেম ডিফারেন্টলি, যার জন্য
Right, of course, yeah.
we're encouraging them that tell us your story, let's talk about it, because that is also important.
আমরা
How
pastoral
it,
care নিয়ে কথা বলছিলাম। হ্যাঁ, এবছর তো of course that's more important.
so at this point the best that we can do is that tell them that there, it might seem that there is no structure, but you have to make a proactive effort to make a structure, কারণ timeline কিন্তু is as it stands.
মানে ডিসিপ্লিনটা এবছর আর বেশি থাকতে হবে আর কি। স্কুলে তো একটা মানে এবছর মানে বাসায় ওই জিনিসটা মেনটেন করা। রাকিব ভাই, আপনার কি মনে হচ্ছে, আপনারা কিভাবে করছেন এবার এই জিনিসটাকে? রাকিব ভাই, কি আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? ওকে, রাকিব ভাইকে রাকিব আপনাকে আনমিউট করছি, আমি আপনার মিউট করা ছিল। Nusrat, do you want to continue with what you were saying?
Yeah, all right. I'm so sorry. I just got disconnected. It's like, each week I try to have a session with a topic, and all my kids join us. So I try to have a
Did you
essay
say
workshop.
some?
Rakib bhai, we'll come back to you. আপনার একটু মনে হয় সাউন্ড
Yes, could you please repeat the question?
জি, আমরা নুসরাতকে করে coming back to you. Nusrat is talking about how is she getting to know her students to write the recommendation letters this year.
So we do the essay workshop like geographically, like US essay workshop, like Common App. And again, if it's UCAS workshop, so I divide it into country-wise.
Sure.
And then, you can see not everybody is applying to the US, not everybody is applying in the UK. So I get to know like who are applying where. So in terms of putting them into small group, and we run the workshop. And another thing I would say, like, this time, the universities are very, very supportive. They are reaching out to us. They are also offering workshops. They are also asking to put them into in our loop. So, they are providing essay workshops. So when we have this kind of expert person from a university rep, we also invite them either in a Zoom platform or a Microsoft team, or the university come up with their own webinar. So that has been working so well. So far, it's just the beginning. Let's see what will happen next.
রাকিব ভাই, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম যে এবছর তো রেকমেন্ডেশন লেটার্স গুলো লেখার জন্য, সো মানে how will you get to know your students this year, like what will you do in your school regarding this application process?
Well, that's a big challenge because হ্যাঁ, কারণ হুমায়ুন আপা মানে আমাদের যে সিনিয়র কাউন্সিলর যিনি আছেন, মানে she will have to be looking into this very seriously. কিন্তু প্রত্যেকবার যেটা হয় যে we get to know the student
রাকিব ভাই সাউন্ড নিয়ে মনে হয়
that's we are not part of that transition. we are not part of observing that transition. So it's going to be a very big challenge, definitely.
Rubaina, what are
So
your thoughts on this? I mean, Rakib bhai, I'll give you some time. আপনার ইন্টারনেটে একটু ঝামেলা হচ্ছে রাকিব ভাই, সো আই থিংক আপনি কি একটু রিস্টার্ট করে নিতে পারেন প্রবাবলি। Rubaina, do you want to continue?
So, so I've already done an essay workshop for the kids. It was like a 4-day long one. It was very like getting in touch with their feelings and needs and things like that. And just as Nusrat said, universities are really getting in touch and they're coming, they're just like, do you want to set up meetings? And in fact, Ruham has helped me set up 3 of them, and I've already done about 9 with a batch of 21. The class that will be going on to class 12. So, and even right now, Evana is working on getting University of Water to come, and we can all come band together and work together to give our students a bigger platform and, work together to give them those opportunities. And give them, like, have Jeta Ivana Botisilo, that there needs to be a structure. Even though it looks like we don't have structure, we need to keep them engaged all the time, constantly. I'm doing one-on-one meetings with parents, and then we're constantly doing, like, I have about 5 more universities planned out for the next week and coming week, and I'm like being able to get in touch with schools that I've never gotten in touch with before. Alhamdulillah, it's like a blessing and a bane, and we're all working together, and that's the most amazing part about this. The world is really getting smaller for us, alhamdulillah. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, we have to get through this, right? So we'll find ways to get through it. And from Maces, every year we run a personal statement writing competition. We usually begin the process in late July.
Yeah.
So this year, we'll get in touch with you regarding this and how, finding a way to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are looking forward to.
Because essays this year are even more important. I mean, they really need to, especially put that discipline in and write about themselves. So
that worked so well last year. Like, students get to, start their UCAS very early in July or August. That gives them like a heads up. So, when actually they finally submit it, so they know, and they get a review, and they get some sort of review from their teachers,
actual university coming people. So I think that that is one of the main things, the idea behind the competition. I'm very happy that nearly 600 students participate. So Ivana, তোমার আরেকটু জোরে কথা মানে একদম মাইকটা সামনে আনতে হবে তাহলে।
I think the element of competition really triggers them to give their best. Essay mothe.
Exactly.
That really helps. I really do hope you do that personal statement competition.
Yeah.
Inshallah, we plan to in some form. We definitely want to do that. Is there any for your students? I would one essence that I would like to get from all of you is that what I know you're telling them to be disciplined and all of that, but any other advice, just not for that you generally give to your students that you would like to share with students who are watching or who will be watching the show, that what they can do now for their future university planning or for their future university careers, how they can sort of train themselves, or what can they do now using this time. I will start with Rakib bhai since I have him, and I hope the internet and everything will work. We will start with you, Rakib bhai.
Okay, let's give it a try now.
Yes.
Personally, I encourage all the students to just keep learning. Whatever your passion, keep learning. It'll pay off for the long and all these other courses. If they can take up any courses, that would definitely work out. So that's what whenever students are asking me, this is what I'm giving as feedback. They just keep working, it'll pay off.
That's very, we need that advice, especially now. যখন সবাই নেটফ্লিক্স দেখে ব্যস্ত, keep learning and keep working hard. I think it's one of the best advice that you can give at this point. Ivana.
Right. At this point, what I would like to tell the students is that, you know, that situation where you want to go path A and your parents want you to go to path B, reach out to us, talk to your whoever is advising you, because this can be sorted. So don't, যেটা usually হয় যে আমাদের সিচুয়েশন থাকে যে আমরা সামনাসামনি বসে we talk, we figure out a way যেটা দুজনের ইন্টারেস্ট মিট করে, but at this time don't get overwhelmed যে না আমি engineering পড়তে চাই না but I'm being compelled to. There are ways, reach out, let's talk, and this can be sorted if needed. A decision making process, bring in the parents, let's just work together.
And find the support. Basically, there's support, so you're not alone in this process. So get the support you have.
Absolutely, take the support, and let's make a collaborated decision. সবারই opinion নিয়ে একটা decision that best suits your future. That's my advice.
Nusrat?
I would say, like, a
Any
lot of the students, they might not have a college counselor. So in general, I would say, like, if you have universities on your mind, go to the website and add them or like them on their Facebook page. So what will happen, you actually can see what's the trend going on with the universities. Like, for example, the other week I got an email from University of Arizona in the United States. So what they are doing, they are giving a free course, which would be like a summer course. And if the student is taking up that course, which is like $80, and if they are completing it, they don't have to pay the application fee. So anyways, they pay a good amount of application fee. So
right.
all the universities are coming up with different offers this time. So I would say it's fine. Like, if not everybody may not have a college counselor, reach out to the right people. Macy's, I would say, is can be a very good
We
platform. You
definitely
get
work
the
in guidance
advices at
counseling
least.
model. So.
They get at least they will get the basic advices, and then they can go to the website and they can see, how they will progress step by step. So that is very important, and it's a good time they can do all the research. And I
Any
would say,
learning resource that you will recommend, Nusrat? Any learning resource that they can? এখন হয় না যে অনেক
yeah,
learning resource.
আরেকটা আমি বলবো যে আপা খান একাডেমি.
হ্যাঁ,
Khan Academy is an absolute free platform. It's sponsored by the US government. So just get in touch with the Khan Academy. It's like one of our Bangladeshi person has initiated to launch it, but they get a lot of funding from different places. So Khan Academy te subscribe koruk. Khan Academy সাথে
যে কোনো জায়গাতে ম্যাথ শেখার জন্য, ইংলিশ শেখা, আমার বাচ্চারাও ইউজ করে খান একাডেমি। ইটস অ্যাকচুয়ালি ভেরি গুড রিসোর্স। দ্যাটস এ গুড সাজেশন।
আরেকটা হচ্ছে আপা, আরেকটা নতুন এসেছে Duolingo, which is also
right, a language শিখার জন্য they're very good. Duolingo, yes.
And a lot of the US universities are also considering as an alternate to IELTS or TOEFL Duolingo tests.
Right, yeah.
And which is completely online, and $35 is the payment. So I think that is also feasible.
Ruhbayna,
And also Raquib, yeah, that like, if you want to reach and if you go through research, and internet is a big source, and go to their website. You have the name of that university on your mind, go to the website. You can
nothing
see
beats
plenty of
research. Definitely so. Ruhbayna, do you want to add anything to this, like that students can do at this time, while you're at home, and that they can do to prepare themselves?
Right now, a lot of ECAs planned, and they had a lot of things that they had planned out for the future, and they're not being able to do that. I would definitely recommend that they do the online. There are a lot of online MUNs going on, a lot of online sessions that are going on.
MUNs, that's a good thing, right? ECA জন্য
Yeah. So they can still keep doing those things. They can participate in competitions. A lot of the universities have like math competitions, programming competitions that they do. Go and do those, learn a programming language, all the things that they said, keep on doing. If you're passionate about photography, keep on taking pictures. If you are passionate about painting, keep on doing that. Don't give up just because you're stuck at home. The internet is your oyster. Literally, you can do whatever you want there. So please go ahead and tap into that and keep on
Positively, right?
doing all the things.
In addition, of course, they can watch Netflix or Netflix or chat. They can also use these learning resources. Of course, that's very good advice. We have a question
To
from
add to those,
Right, yes, please. Mhm.
no, I mean to add on to Rubaina, if another resource which students can use, they can reach out to the alumni network. You see, whichever school they're attached to, the alumni understand what struggle they're going through this year, and we have noticed that
That's
they
very
really want
important.
to
Mhm.
help their students. If you reach out, many alums are now in very good places, and they want to help. I mean, even Macy's. I mean, you have a lot of volunteer opportunities. If they reach out to you, they can maybe get connected to you for that as well.
Right, and we also put current students and alumni in touch with prospective students so that they can find out from them, And mentoring is such a big thing. So it's good that, I mean, Scholastic also encourages their alumni to be mentored, and like many other schools, also, I think mentoring is very important. And pulling each other up. That's what this is all about, right?
Correct.
We have a question from Megha. She's from the University of Megha wants to know whether any of you have you
এখানে আরেকটা মজার
আচ্ছা রাকিব ভাই, okay, see, go ahead, জি বলো।
এখানে আরেকটা মজার ফেনোমেনা দেখা গেছে যে এখানে একটা মজার ফেনোমেনা দেখা গেছে যে ফার্স্ট ফিউ উইকস অফ দি lockdown, many people they were more or less resting and trying to make up something to do. তো ওইভাবে প্রথম কয়েক সপ্তাহ কাটাইছে, and then the subsequent latent gifts ছিল. Many of my students started painting. Many of my past students, I'm seeing that they're doing a lot of extracurricular activities. And then over the last মানে ঈদের পরে, okay, Eid গেছে, that was like a very dull moment, কারণ normally Eid is something that's in our culture very that's a wonderful time of the year. তো ওইটা যেহেতু they had a crunch there psychologically. Subsequently এরপরে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে অনেকে হয়তো they're going into a little bit of depression and this thing. তো তখন is very important that they keep themselves busy with some activity যেটা ওই যে এনজয়, মানে ওই যে হবি হোক বা যখন যেটা ভাল লাগতেছে ওইটা অতটুকু করো, no need to push, but they have to kind of
very
go with
important,
the flow. That's very
right? Because
important.
emotional well-being, especially at this time, adults, kids, everybody, emotional health is a very important concern. So ওইটাকে definitely we need. That's a very good point, Rakib. I think এটাকে nurture করতে হবে। আচ্ছা, Megha wanted to know if you have seen a change in the number of students in any of your schools applying abroad. Has there been a change, or has there been a shift to their country preference during this pandemic? Or
I would say like change we won't be able to find out at this moment.
you will know when they're applying for next year, right?
We are still going through the process, but I could see confused mind. Students are thinking what they would do. They already got the offers, but they are thinking, should I apply, go, or refer, like defer to the next year or something. So we won't be able to calculate until it's August.
As
So a lot of
I would also like to ask you this very important question. So, Nusrat, please continue with answering this one as well. And I would get to all of you that what are you advising your students? Because we have been, our students, we have been faced with that question, and it is very difficult. Even though it is very difficult to answer for somebody else because everybody's circumstances are different, but I know that still students still want to ask, if you were in my position, what would you do? So, what are you telling students, those who are supposed to begin their university this fall, this September? Should they go this year? Should they wait and start in the new year? Should they take a gap year and then start next year? Or should they go this year? So,
no, I suggested no gap year, no waste of time. Just get online courses, because you at least you will be somewhere advanced, and not doing anything for the 6 months is not going to work. So if it's like, if there is no way that you can't take the courses online, at least get into a local university and figure out whether this transfer would work or not. Transfer from a local university to the overseas university work or not. if it doesn't work, I would say like, just, don't take all the courses, but take the minimum courses.
ট্রান্সফার এটা খুব
আহ
important যে ওইটা দেখে রাখা যে কোনটা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করবে কোনটা না করবে
জি, কোনটা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করবে। সবগুলো কোর্স তো অ্যাকসেপ্ট অনেক সময় করে না, একই নর্থ আমেরিকান কারিকুলাম হতে হয় বা অনেক ধরনের ক্যালকুলেশন আছে। বাট যদি স্টুডেন্ট, সব ইউনিভার্সিটি কিন্তু অনলাইন কোর্স অফার করছে, স্পেশালি যেরকম ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ ম্যানচেস্টারে
করছে, হ্যাঁ।
সবাই করছে। এবং আমি তো মনে করি এটা একটা ভালো সুযোগ। দে আর নট পেইং that amount of money, they are not paying for the dorm, they are not paying the other facilities fees, they are only paying the tuition fee.
Right.
And tuition fee একটু বেশি হতে পারে, মানে সেমই হবে, এখানে কোনো কনসিডার করা হবে না, বিকজ দে আর গোয়িং টু গেট দ্য সেম টিচার্স, সেম প্রফেসরস, সেম কোয়ালিটি অফ এডুকেশন।
কস্টই মেইনটেইন করতে হচ্ছে, বাট
এক্স্যাক্টলি,
বসে তারা পড়তে পারছে, হ্যাঁ।
হ্যাঁ, বাট দে আর অ্যাট লিস্ট দে আর টেকিং ইট। অ্যান্ড অলসো ওখানে যাওয়ার পরেও দে আর অলসো হ্যাভিং দিস অ্যানাউন্সমেন্ট, দেয়ার উইল বি নো প্রবলেম উইথ দ্য ভিসা, দো ইফ ইউ ক্যান ইভেন টেক 2 semester 1 year online, when you come you will get the same extension of work opportunities. So I would say like, grab all those opportunities. Everybody should take these online courses. Like if you have this acceptance, if you are about to start, don't waste your time.
Ivana, what would you tell your students, or what are you telling your students?
I would actually refer to your own show's title that online education is pretty much the new normal, because where in upcoming days ki hoche we don't know. Large scale classes may be a distant reality. So এখন যখন fall classes are being offered online and they're holding good scholarships without any reason, খামাখাই offer গুলো না নিয়ে, they should utilize this opportunity, enroll for the classes, and experience this in the comfort of your own home. পরে গিয়ে এমনও হতে পারে that they join spring session এ হয়তো ডর্মে থেকে, তখন their additional costs, additional responsibilities, but online classes গুলো হয়তো করতে হতে পারে, we don't know what the future holds.
রাইট, ওখানে যে অনলাইন করতে হতে পারে।
এক্স্যাক্টলি, তখন আরো রেসপন্সিবিলিটিস আসবে। এখন যেহেতু we're in a situation যেখানে students have the opportunity to enroll for these offers while retaining their scholarship options, I think they should definitely opt for it, and that's what we tell the students too. এখন before we tell that, হ্যাঁ, এখন মাঝে মাঝে সিচুয়েশনটা বোঝার চেষ্টা করি। There might be, there are a lot of things are happening, maybe কোনো একটা financial এর বা কোনো একটা illness এর কারণে there might be situation, এটা বুঝে অ্যাডভাইসটা দেই। বাট
অনেক ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল সিচুয়েশন চেঞ্জ হয়েছে, অনেকের পেরেন্টস এর ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল সিচুয়েশন চেঞ্জ হয়েছে, সো ওইরকম টাইপের কনসিডারেশনস থাকতে পারে
অনেকের,
হ্যাঁ। সো হয়তো এবছর তারা অ্যাফোর্ড নাও করতে পারে, সেই ক্ষেত্রে জাস্টিফাই তারা করতে পারলো। বাট যাদের সেরকম কোনো কিছু হয় না, you're telling them to definitely start their studies. Okay, Ruhbayna, what are you thinking?
Same as what they're saying. Another thing that I would just add is we don't really know when this pandemic is going to end. It might be 6 months, there might be a second surge, there might be another one. We don't know what's going on. So you need to keep going. If you just think that it'll be 6 months and then I can go in January or I can go in February or whatever, I'll go for the next semester. You don't know if that's true. You don't know if everything will be fine by February. None of us know that. It's such an unpredictable time, and you need to keep going. You need to keep going onwards. That's it. If you take a break right now, it'll be very hard for you to get back into that groove, and everybody will have moved on ahead. So my thing is exactly the same as Ivana Appa's and Nusrat Appa's. No, do not defer. Please start online classes, because that is the best thing for you. Really, that is the best.
Raquib bhai, what will you tell your students?
Most of our students that I know who got admitted, they're planning for online classes. And as for those who are applying next year, এখনো they're like you said, many parents have had their financial situations changed, and then there are a few students who already have relatives, let's say, where they're planning to go. So that might change. Their perspectives might be different. But those who are basically based here, and those who are contemplating whether they should go, I mean, they would, I think, consider moving now. They would consider it twice now, right now, before they would move. So in that context, online classes are the best option, definitely.
রাইট। সো তাহলে ওয়ান থিং আমরা সবার থেকেই যেটা পেলাম সেটা হচ্ছে যে অনলাইন ক্লাসেস ডেফিনেটলি ইউ অল এগ্রি দ্যাট মানে অনলাইন ক্লাসের থেকে মেইন ইয়েটা হচ্ছে যে কন্টিনিউ করে যেতে হবে, না থেমে থেকে তোমাদের এখন মানে স্কুল শুরু হওয়ার কথা ইউ কন্টিনিউ উইথ দ্যাট। যদি অনলাইন হয় তাহলে অনলাইন, যদি ইন পার্সন হয় তাহলে ইন পার্সন। বিকজ কিছু কিছু যেমন ইউকে they're planning to open their campuses, so they should be able to go. They're thinking of blended learning, যে অনলাইন এবং ইন পার্সন ক্লাসেস মিক্সড করে, বিকজ এখন তো নাম্বার অফ স্টুডেন্টস ইন দ্য ক্লাসরুমকে ক্যাপ করতে হবে, অনেক রকমের ব্যাপার আছে। সো they're thinking of different ways of doing it, but the idea is to not stop আর কি, মানে you cannot wait যে আচ্ছা প্যান্ডেমিক শেষ হবে তারপরেই আমি you cannot put your life on hold. I want to add here, আমরা
Definitely.
লাস্ট উইকে কথা বলছিলাম কিছু স্টুডেন্টদের সাথে আমাদের যারা অলরেডি পড়াশোনা করছে। I was really surprised ওরা কত ওয়াইজ। একটা one of our students had mentioned that যে এমপ্লয়ারদের জন্য কিন্তু ফার্স্ট তো হচ্ছে যে ইউনিভার্সিটি তোমাকে দেখছে যে তুমি কেমন করে ডিল করছো প্যান্ডেমিক, নেক্সট হচ্ছে যে এমপ্লয়াররা তোমাকে দেখছে। সো when you graduate in 3 years or 4 years time and the employer see that no, during the pandemic also you didn't stop, you adapted yourself to
Exactly.
online learning or whatever was thrown into your way and you continued. So that shows strength of character. So এটা that's one I that's something and it came from a student. So so they are already wise. I think they know যে right জিনিসটা কোনটা. We just have to sort of show them the right direction maybe. আমরা show
Exactly.
আগে any last remarks that you would want to share with us? Any thoughts for the future?
I think that we'll deal with
Ivana
it together.
বলেন।
We'll deal with it together. সবাইকে যেটা বলছি, don't get disheartened. Collaboration is increasing and we'll make it happen. Whatever our individual goals are, we'll make it happen.
RQ?
Just engage yourself wherever you can. You will get a sense of community, which is very important. Like যেরকম অনলাইনে ক্লাসটা নিলে যেটা হবে, you will get to know your international friends well ahead. So when you go there, you won't feel like a stranger. You feel like, oh, I actually I was in touch with my community. I know all of you. So when they're coming from the same kind of circumstances, they would have a good bonding. So এটাও important যে you feel okay, everybody is going through the same kind of situation. So engage yourself, reach out to people, get more interaction. And because a lot of us, we are now at home, so reaching out, talking to anybody is just like a click away. Do that as much as possible.
Use the support you have, because
Exactly.
we have amazing counselors, so use that support. Ruhbayna,
Yeah, like
go ahead.
Go on.
We have
Ruhbayna বলেন।
Ruhbayna, someone Faiza Choudhury says that you've worked very hard to make life easier for your students.
One thing I would suggest is that give time for
Give time for
hello.
জি হ্যাঁ রাকিব ভাই বলেন প্লিজ। Give time for আমরা শুনতে পাচ্ছি না আপনাকে রাকিব ভাই, for some reason.
Apu, if I could also answer in one year, whether overseas recession কমে গেছে নাকি, whether the overseas students decline the numbers or not. With regard to the 2021 cohort, our data says no, the interest didn't decline, but the questions increased. So at this point, that's the answer. There are a lot of questions, but the interest of going abroad to study, that stays.
And are most of your students willing to study begin their studies online? Meg also wanted to know that for the September this intakes, are they all willing or are they changing their minds?
They are. They had a lot of confusion. They had a lot of questions about tuitions and all. But in the end, they decided, because there's always that thing: how have you utilized your gap year? So the opportunities to utilize a gap year now is very limited. If you take online classes, that's better. You're actually doing something. You're using your time well.
So students are pretty smart. They know. I think they know better that they're not going to put their lives on hold, and they will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I thank you all very much for coming to the show. I mean, you gave us an hour of your Friday.
Thank
Thank you so much
If I can
for.
add just a little
Please,
something
please.
small. So, the thing that you said about resilience that the students have and the fact that they're so wise, it's so true. I mean, these students have shown us what they're truly made of, their true metal. And it's our privilege that we get to work with you and for your future, really. And if you guys just keep going on, we will keep going on, all right? And we're going to do this together. This is something that we say all the time. It's about like overcoming unpredictable, because this is such an unpredictable time, and if we all do it together, it will make it so much easier. And that's what I keep telling my students: if we both work together, everything will be easier. Let's just keep going forward and just keep overcoming the unpredictable. That's it.
Wow, great. Thank you so much for that. I mean, that's the most valuable thing you have said. So, students and everyone watching, we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you learned quite a bit. All the college counselors, I mean, it's amazing to see how supportive they are. They're telling you that, they're there for you. Just send them a line, send them that you want to talk to them. They are here for you, and they're here to give you care. They're here to hold your hand, and they're here to give you advice, support, and just listen to you as well if you have any issues. So we hope you will take advantage of the amazing support that you have in all of them, and you will not let this pandemic take you down. You will move forward. Thank you so much for watching the show. Please send in your comments, questions, and ideas for the new shows to come. Thank you, and good night.